Welcome back to What Do They Know podcast. This week, the guys discuss what's catching their eye so far in the preseason and continue their way through the league as they break down the NFC and the AFC North. But hey, what do they know?
What do they know? Well, we are about to find out. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the What Do They Know podcast. Nick and Jeff back with you as always, making our way through these divisional breakdowns as we get closer and closer to week one. I can't wait for starters. So, Jeff, we are pretty much through week 2 of the preseason.
Yeah.
Anything, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Anything jumping out at you? Anything caught your eye?
The Saints putting up a big 0. I'll tell you that one.
Okay.
Obviously, the Zach Wilson and Spencer Rattler were starting QB. They haven't really put out their starters yet. But
Zach Wilson, he's probably going to start for you guys.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
No, he's not. No.
Hey, if I have to endure that, so do you.
Not yet. No, please no. But yeah, no. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I don't take too much stock into preseason.
I do.
I know you do. But
Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
I know you sent me the whole Geno Smith stat line. What was it? 7 for 7?
7 for 7, man.
Yeah.
One drive, 5 different receivers, touchdown against the Steelers starting defense.
Wow.
Super Bowl.
Super incoming.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm getting my tickets to SoFi.
Yeah, start saving up. But no,
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm not necessarily.
Same. I just want it to be over with, honestly.
Right.
I just want preseason to be over with. I want everybody to be healthy. And I just...
Honestly, and that's the thing. Like, anyone who drafts like beforehand for fantasy football, I know. It's such a cautious fairy tale right there, where it's like, what are you doing? You got to wait for the preseason games to at least be over, for like training camps and all that stuff to conclude before you start drafting. Because obviously we had the Genty potential injury there, which they say it's not. It's just sprained ankle, but it's not going to be a significant time. But you never know. And I don't know. I enjoy our format where we wait till like the very last minute to do our draft.
One of our leagues, we're literally drafting
the
day before the first game, which not much can go wrong at that point.
Yep. No surprises there.
Yeah. So, awesome. All right. Well, we are diving in, like I said, this week we are going through the AFC and the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start as we always do in the NFC, and I decided to start with the division champs, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, Bears.
So 11-6 last year. I feel like they were everybody's like sweetheart last year, the darlings of the NFL. Everybody loved that the Bears were good again. They were competitive. Ben Johnson, blah blah blah.
Right.
What are you seeing with them?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be a testing year for Caleb Williams. Obviously, he came out. I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but he definitely broke out in a very good way last year for Chicago. But I mean, you have another year with in that division. And obviously, Detroit was facing a first place schedule. They're not going to be facing a first place schedule this year.
Yeah,
it's going to be a last place schedule, and that's pretty scary for
9-8.
At 9-8, yeah. So Chicago has its work cut out for them. They're going to have their target on their back for the NFC North. I mean, it's a lot of competitive teams. Obviously, we go through. We're going to go through each team. Kevin O'Connell's no slouch at head coach over there in Minnesota, and then Green Bay. It's always back and forth with what you're going to get with Green Bay. But Chicago, I mean, offensively, I feel like they definitely surprised a lot of people, especially with the Ben Johnson's creativity there. Defensively, I mean, only way you can go really is up. 29th in defense in yards allowed, and then 23rd in points allowed. I mean, they signed Kobe Bryant coming over from Seattle, winning off a Super Bowl right there. A linebacker, Devin Bush.
Didn't he get hurt? Didn't Kobe Bryant get injured?
Did he get injured already?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Look it up right now, please.
I'm pretty sure he's out. Yeah.
Year?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
There goes that investment. They had him for 3 years for $40 million.
Let me see. Keep going.
Okay, and then they signed a center, Garrett Bradbury, traded for him for 27 fifth round pick. So
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Undergoing surgery on his left knee.
He gone.
Bone bruise and small fracture. Yeah.
Ligament or bone?
It says he arthroscopic knee surgery. Optimistic 8 to 10 week recovery.
Okay. Yeah, that's 2.5 months right there.
Officially, but then okay, so 4 days later, officially announces extended to 4 to 6 month timeline.
Ooh,
So he gone.
he gone.
Yeah,
Well, there goes their investment.
yeah.
So,
That's rough.
yep, defense has everywhere to go but down now.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, it's going to be an offensive team.
For sure.
Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift. Obviously, they got rid of DJ Moore, traded him over to Buffalo. So it's going to be Roman Dunze and
Luther Burden,
Luther Burden
who
third.
also got hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So honestly, Colston Loveland is probably your
Oh,
number one target right
Yeah,
there
he's
in
got
terms of
it, yeah.
fantasy stuff too. So it's I mean they still got DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, and then
Excuse me, who?
Monangai,
Common guy.
and then Roscoe Johnson is their change of pace back, and,
Yeah.
which I feel like a lot of people were high on for coming into last year,
Yeah.
but he kind of flamed out. But as of right now, it's definitely going to be dependent on Caleb Williams. If he can continue on the trajectory that he showed last year, they can definitely put up a fight with the best of them.
Yeah, I think they're primed for a letdown. I really do. 7-4 in one score games last year.
Okay.
You know how I feel about one score games.
Yeah.
They typically flip in
Consecutive.
some way.
Right.
And Ben Johnson, I feel like, is not doing himself any favors. I know what he's trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
but he's saying things like, we want to go 17-0. We don't want to play close games. We want to blow people out.
Right.
We want to be able to sit our guys in the fourth quarter. Like, he's saying all this stuff. And I know they had a great year last year. I know they knocked off Green Bay. They had that awesome comeback in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm really curious because I feel like they are one of those teams. I feel like 7-4 honestly doesn't even do it justice how close like a lot of their games were, or how down they were, like in a lot of those games they were.
Yeah.
I feel like everything really went right for them last year.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if you get that 2 years in a row in the NFL.
It requires a lot of luck. I'll tell you that.
I agree,
and I don't know if they have that luck, to be honest with you.
And I'm not sold on Caleb Williams yet myself.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on DeAndre Swift. It seems like this guy typically is like an every other year kind of guy, where like 2 years ago he was awful with Chicago. The year before that he was phenomenal in Philly.
Yeah.
Then he had a good year last year. So
Okay.
I mean, I'm staying away from him this year. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me at all when all of the analysts, all the sexy picks are for the Bears to do it again, win the division, be competitive in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not there.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah. I mean, this whole division is lined up with proven winners, I feel like.
Yeah.
And LaFleur over there in Green Bay, and then obviously we know about Kevin O'Connell. And then Dan Campbell over in Detroit. It's not going to be easy for Ben Johnson there in the second year in Chicago. I'm definitely reeling in terms of crowning them as a potential Super Bowl sleeper, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Really?
No, I'm reeling on it. No.
Okay.
I'm not. No way am I putting them as Super Bowl sleeper.
Nope. Misunderstood you. Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Not there yet.
Okay.
Yep.
So it seems like we're relatively in the same boat.
Yeah.
On Chicago. So next we're gonna jump over to the Minnesota Vikings, and so one thing I do, obviously you guys hear me say their records. When I saw that Minnesota was 9-8 last year, I almost fell over. And it just goes to show you what a phenomenal coach Kevin O'Connell is.
Yeah.
Because I can't even begin to name the quarterback carousel that they had last year. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Other guys like didn't Josh Dobbs start from them last year? That might have been the year before. I don't even know. But like every year they have quarterback issues, and the fact that they were 9-8 is dumbfounding to me.
Yeah.
And so I mean, who are we to say that the Vikings are not going to be competitive this year now that they have Kyler Murray?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I'll be honest, I'll let you go over. I don't really have a lot of notes on them just because I feel like other than the Murray addition, not a ton has changed. They still have Brian Flores on defense. They still have a really tough, good defense.
Yeah.
And the offense is pretty much status quo for the most part.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be dependent on what you get out of Kyler Murray, I feel like. If you get like an MVP sort of season, especially at the vet minimum that they signed him for.
Stay healthy.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah. I mean, their defense with being led by Brian Flores, their defensive coordinator, that's been a godsend basically to Minnesota right there. third in defense in yards allowed, and then seventh in points allowed. That's what's keeping them in games, to be honest with you. Offensively, I mean, it's been anemic when it's led by JJ McCarthy.
I thought only Jets fans use that word.
No, I'm busting it out for the offense here. Sorry, Jake. But with Kyler Murray, obviously you got some experience there. You get some potential highlight plays, some potential MVP games every once in a while. He can still sling the ball. That's a man that still has the talent. Obviously, he was picked first overall for a reason. But for me, does he have that left in the tank? That's going to be the main question. Because obviously, with your backup being JJ McCarthy, I don't know if he's going to lead you to the promised land or anything. But it's hard for me to be sold. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Kevin O'Connell. I think with a great quarterback or a great season at quarterback, they can definitely make some noise. But I just don't know if you're going to get that out of Kyler Murray or JJ McCarthy.
So let's say that they don't, right? Is there pressure? Like, do you think this is a make or break for Kevin O'Connell this season? Because I feel like we talk about him the way that we do, right? And most people talk about him that way. But at what point is enough enough? And you have to get results regardless of, I mean, people get fired all the time when they don't have a quarterback. I mean, look at the Jets, not to be funny, look at the Jets head coaches for the last 15 years, right? No quarterback, and all of them are gone. You can only make that excuse for so long. And so I'm wondering, like, when is enough enough?
I think
there's a few coaches in this division that I'm going to ask that question.
Probably when you have a top 5 pick.
Yeah,
honestly, because obviously, when you bring in, you're allowed to pick, your quarterback probably at that stage of the draft, and obviously in today's NFL, you kind of bring a head coach and a new QB, new franchise QB in at the same time. I mean, Kevin O'Connell he's been having winning records with mediocre QB play. I think that's his saving grace, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's being competitive in games that team probably has no business being competitive in games with you and winning games that they have no business winning. So for me, I think they definitely have a franchise head coach in Kevin O'Connell, but they're going to have to give him something to play with. They're going to have to give him something, to really evaluate his head coaching skills. Because I mean, 9-8 with Jay McCarthy and company. That's to me, that's an extension.
Yeah,
that's an extension to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, name we haven't thrown out yet, and I'm shocked we haven't, is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I am very excited to see what he can be with a healthy Kyler Murray. He's been, for the most part, right? I feel like he's been a non-diva the last 2 years when he's had issues at quarterback. Not the Sam Darnold year, so maybe 2 out of the last 3 years.
Right.
Because obviously Sam Darnold, they had a great year when
they were like 14-3 or something.
Yeah. So take that year out of it, but obviously the year with McCarthy, you haven't really heard a lot of grumbling or complaining from JJ.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And I feel like it's got to be a breath of fresh air to have somebody like Murray, who can at least throw the ball, right? Leadership aside, injury, stability aside, all that other stuff, the dude can sling it. And he's been in the league forever. So I am personally very excited to see what that combination looks like.
Yeah, the talent's always been there for Kyler Murray, and obviously Justin Jefferson is potentially he's being drafted high, but I feel like a lot of people were kind of avoiding him due to the QB situation. But Kyler Murray, his thing has always been between the years. So the question marks have always been like, what sort of role does he fulfill in the locker room? And unfortunately, in Arizona, it took him a long time to realize that he probably wasn't the guy. To lead a locker room like that. Especially with a franchise that is as much of in turmoil as Arizona has been. But when you go into, I guess, a facility where Kevin O'Connell is kind of like the guy, and it seems like he has a great stranglehold on the culture that he's building there in Minnesota. I feel like Kyler doesn't have to be that guy. I think he can be a lot more free. Just to be QB. If Kyler Murray is going to succeed in any other stint, I feel like this is going to be the stint. It has to be the stint.
It has to be. It has to be. Real quick, I could be totally wrong here, but it wouldn't surprise me if just because of everything that happened last year, you see JJ fall into the second round in your fantasy draft. I really feel like you might be able to get him on a bar, like a steal.
Yeah.
Like second round, maybe even third round. Like people are a little leery to in between his injury issues, his lack of quarterback production. Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if you might be just stash him away and plan on second round.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's honestly, I'm kind of planning on that myself, to keep an eye on where he is, and write that down. Because God knows you're going to be drafted in front of him. It happens every year.
One pick right in front of you.
Golly,
Yep.
every single year. Every year. I'm going to stop talking about that, actually, in my strategy. So I think Minnesota is a very intriguing team.
Right. No, I agree.
All right, next we got the Green Bay Packers, 9-7-1
Okay.
last year.
Got them in second place.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, that dang tie.
That time.
They lost to, obviously, the Bears, who we just talked about, in the wild card round. A really just ugly loss where they were up, I want to say it was 21-3 in the third quarter, and blew it. Obviously, no Micah Parsons until October, rehabbing that torn ACL. Tucker Kraft is supposed to be healthy for week 1. Coming off also an ACL injury.
Yeah.
What are you seeing here with the Packers?
I don't know what to
I can already
make.
tell that you and I are on the same page with them.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Green Bay, to be honest with you. I mean, Jordan Love has been a decent quarterback, above average quarterback. I feel like he hasn't been superb to me. He hasn't been like crazy, franchise, legends sort of thing.
He had one. I wouldn't even say one good year. I feel like he had one good run where obviously they annihilated Dallas in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he was hot like the 4 or 5 games leading up to that.
Yeah.
And then he played well against Dallas. And other than that, he's just been average?
Average.
Mediocre?
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. Someone on ESPN radio, I don't remember who it was, but basically said that, like, when are we going to start holding him accountable and taking him off the pedestal of like one of the top greatest quarterbacks in the NFL? Because other than that short sample size,
right,
he hasn't really shown it.
Right.
And I think it was maybe it might have been Courtney Cronin,
okay,
because it was a female. I remember that. And when she said that, I'm like, dang, she's right. So it's very interesting to me, very fascinating, because certain guys get put up on this pedestal, and when you think about their total body of work, you're like, okay, he had a good couple games.
Yeah, and it's like that's about it.
Yeah,
and I feel like he's living like it's terrible because he's been a quarterback for multiple years now, but I feel like he's still living off the coattails of Green Bay's history of having the franchise quarterback ready and set to go when their previous franchise quarterback is ready to leave.
Yeah,
like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love. I feel like because we saw that talent and that production at the time we did, I feel like that's now what we see in Jordan Love, even though that's not necessarily the reality that we see. Josh Jacobs has been the cornerstone.
Oh, dude, he's been the bell cow.
Yeah,
he's been. If it weren't for him, they'd be a disaster.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. So I mean, receiving courts, there's not much change. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden entering a second year. It's going to be interesting without Romeo Dobbs. They've always had a surplus of wide receivers, even though they always get injured or for this or that reason. But I feel like if one of these guys legitimately becomes a number one, or Jordan Love falls in love with one of these guys and the connection they develop, you might see something. I feel like they just had way too many mouths to feed with Romeo Dobbs there, and then all this. I don't think they ever found their footing, to be honest with you.
So it's funny. That's a narrative that I keep hearing that I'm not sure I really buy into. That all the receivers are going to have much more defined roles this year now that Dobbs is gone. Which to me, I'm obviously you named the guys, but I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts. So Christian Watson, deep threat. Right. Jaden Reed injured all the time. Matthew Golden needs to prove himself.
Yeah.
He was way too inconsistent last year. I feel like had really high expectations going into his rookie year.
Yeah, I drafted him.
Yeah, I remember. Yep. And was just not. So I don't buy into on paper those names. You're like, shoot, man, they got some talent. Yeah. And I believe Christian Watson's a stud. I believe Jaden Reed can be a stud, but he was injured damn near the whole season last year.
Yeah.
And Matthew Golden, the jury's still out for me. So we'll see. But I keep hearing that their roles are more defined. The receiver room's gonna be more cohesive, and I don't know that I buy into that. So we'll see. But
I feel like there's still going to be a running team because Josh Jacobs is that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like Tucker Kraft, if healthy, I feel like
He's gonna have a big year.
He's gonna have the big year.
Yeah.
Out of those guys, I think Tucker Kraft is gonna be that guy.
Yeah, but we talk about pressure, right? We talk about it with Kevin O'Connell, and I feel like Jordan
Mhm.
Love needs to have some because they were 9-3-1
Mhm.
when Micah Parsons went out last year,
Yeah.
and then they lost 5 straight counting the playoffs
Oof.
to finish out the season.
Right.
Right. So that is not a good look for supposedly a franchise quarterback when one of your defensive guys gets injured
Mhm.
and you guys just crumble as
Yeah.
a team.
Yeah.
So I I I think we're both on the same page where I am not high on them this year.
Yeah.
I'm very like
Yeah. But,
talk about darlings of the NFL going into last year. Jordan Love was everybody's pick for MVP. He was going to have this amazing year, and
Right.
I just don't think
he's lived up to the hype, to be honest.
not only that, but I think this year it's going to be a wake up call.
Mm.
Personally, that's
Oh.
how I feel.
Okay.
Last but not least, the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Also 9-8 last year, which landed them in last place, which is just baffling.
Yep.
Obviously via tiebreaker.
Right.
So the big thing for me is they got Drew Petzing coming in as their OC.
Interesting hire.
I agree. I thought it was very interesting
Yeah.
because I didn't love what I saw in Arizona.
I don't think anyone.
I mean, you and I watch a lot of Cardinal games, and that offense was.
It was not offensive.
No, it wasn't. It was very questionable.
It was offensive, if anything.
So to bring him into Detroit was very curious.
Right.
And now they don't have the two-headed monster at running back. They traded David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs, massive year incoming, by the way.
Number one overall pick.
Number one overall pick in every single league.
Yep.
Needs to be like massive year.
Yep.
But I think the Lions, this is the first year. You already talked about it, right? They don't have a first place schedule for the first time in a while, much like we talked about the Chiefs last week.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're under the radar. This is the first time in 3-4 years that we're not talking about them with massive expectations.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Packers. We're talking about the Bears. We're even talking about Kyler Murray, I feel like, more than we're talking about the Lions.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on the Lions.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing they've talked about is they have injuries on defense. Obviously, they cut Terrion Arnold from his weird robbery kidnapping issue that he has going on. So it seems like every year they struggle to find pieces on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really the only thing I've heard from them. But they still have Jameson Williams. Sam Laporta is obviously nursing an injury. They still got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Still got Jared Goff. Like I think that they're a sneaky team because nobody's talking about them this year.
Yeah, I mean, to me, offensively, they're still probably a top 3 offense in the NFL. To be honest with you, that's if you finish last in your division in the NFC, you're scared to play the Lions. To be honest with you, that is a scary team to go up against because Detroit would probably win some other divisions if it wasn't for
the South.
Yeah, for sure the South. So like the Lions, I'm going to be on that bandwagon because it's definitely I feel like it's the easiest pick to go from like worst to first sort of thing.
Yeah. Because
they have the talent still. They especially offensively. Defensively, we'll see where they're at. I mean, they were like kind of middle of the pack defensively, a little bit towards the bottom. But it's I don't know. I don't want to say that it's like a make or break year as well, but like you just finished in 4th place in your division.
I don't think we're there yet.
I don't think so either. But like, if you finish last in your division, and all of a sudden the next year you had those expectations, and all of a sudden you don't kind of live up to them. You're not even making the playoffs anymore. I feel like Dan Campbell might be in the hot seat if they don't finish. But I feel
that would be crazy.
It would.
That would be crazy because you know how many owners would be lining up to get him.
I know
the guy that turned Detroit from a laughing stock to a powerhouse.
Right.
Oh my God! So many owners would be lining up to get him.
Right.
So that would be an old Detroit thing to do, right? To fire their incoming stud head coach.
Right. It'd be interesting because he's entering year 6?
It's got to be year 5, year 6, something like that.
Yeah. So like, dang, I mean, you root for the guy because he has that charisma and that motivation. That
I love him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the furthest they've gone is NFC Championship game.
Yep.
No, it's
a second half meltdown away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Against the Niners.
Yep. So I'm not saying it's Super Bowl or bust, but I'm
No.
saying, I'm definitely saying like you're gonna definitely have to show some improvement on this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. I think this is gonna be a fun division.
Oh,
I really do.
absolutely.
Now, I will say, and I told you this before we started recording,
Mhm.
both the NFC and the AFC North, as I picked my teams 1 through 4,
Mhm.
it came very easy to me.
Really?
Like last week, we, at least I think you did too, struggled with both the AFC West and the NFC West,
Mhm.
specifically the NFC West. I struggled with both of them, but both Norths, I mean, I just wrote it down and it just like didn't even give it a second thought.
Mm.
We'll see if that turns out to be genius or stupidity. But it was very like I feel confident in what all of these teams are going to be.
Okay.
So I'll let you go first.
Just tell me how wrong I am.
Okay.
So I got winning the division. I got Detroit.
Okay.
That's gonna be a worse the first thing to me. 2, I got Chicago, simply because they have more of an identity compared with some of these other guys. 3rd, I got Green Bay.
Okay.
And then 4th, I got Minnie. I just don't know if Kyler Murray and JJ McCarthy is gonna be enough. And I think at least Green Bay has Josh Jacobs and some offensive talent there, and defensive. Especially if Markin Parsons comes back a little, strong.
Yeah.
You never know what Green Bay might do.
So I had the Packers in last place this year.
Okay.
Everything else, Minnesota 3rd.
Yeah, you switched to
Yeah.
Green Bay, Minnesota. Yeah.
Yep. There was a split second where I'm like, could Minnesota be in
Again. Yeah.
Could Minnesota do that this year? But I don't know how much faith I have in Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That was the holdup for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything
That's
else,
right.
boom, 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 like very, very easy.
Yeah.
So, all right, jumping over to the AFC North,
Mm.
another always interesting division.
Yeah.
Starting out with I picked them because they kind of had some breaking news today.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns. Talk about dumpster fire. They announced today, as we sit here recording on Monday, that Deshaun Watson is going to be the Week 1 starter, which I'm so glad they announced it because I'm so sick of hearing about this. How infuriated Browns fans are, how infuriated the media even is that the Browns, and how stupid that they are, that they just need to rip off the Band-Aid and cut ties with this guy. Like, the owner has already come out and admitted that this whole Deshaun Watson thing was a complete failure.
Right.
Why are you starting him? Why not at least start Shador to see if you have anything there?
Right.
I think it's just a completely, my opinion, completely asinine decision to start him when you know he's not the future. And just because I don't know. I'm sure Monken is not doing it because they paid him a lot of money. So I don't really know his rationale, but it doesn't make sense to me.
I couldn't even explain it.
It
I can't
makes
even.
no sense.
Yeah, I don't know where. I mean,
It's not like he lit the world on fire in preseason.
No,
Their numbers,
no.
if you compare, are almost identical.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I try to make sense of I try to be a rational guy. There's no rationale behind
the
it.
Browns.
Yeah, like the Cleveland just like does what Cleveland does, and it confuses the rest of us, and they end up in the basement of the division every year because of it. Yeah, it's like they try to be 2 steps ahead of everybody else. But I mean, Deshaun Watson, I don't know if Tom Monken is just putting him out there, see what you got around him, and see if it's something you want to throw Shador into. Eventually, obviously, when it comes to the Cleveland Browns, you never know what sort of talent, especially when you just traded Myles Garrett away. You don't know what you're gonna have.
Well, you know what you're gonna have.
Well, I mean, they had 7 draft picks. Spencer Fano, 9th overall, offensive tackle. So you're building an offensive line, and then you take your next 2 picks for wide receivers, Casey Concepcion and then Denzel Boston.
Yep.
So you're trying to build the talent around them. I get it. You're trying to build the roster and see what quarterback kind of thrives under the system that you're trying to build there. Put the vet out there. I'm
your running back.
Quinshon Judkins.
That's right.
Yeah, Quinshon Judkins. Yep. And then
they have talent. It's
yeah,
kind of crazy. Like
Jerry Judy's their number 1. Harold Fannin Jr.
Tight end.
Yeah, like they have weapons. It's just about finding the right quarterback to take advantage of these weapons. And I don't. From what I've seen from Deshaun Watson, he's probably not the guy to take advantage of those weapons. If you want to put Shador out there for a full year and see if he can develop some sort of chemistry, through 17-game season. I say why not?
Yeah.
I say throw him out there. There's no for me. There's no reason not to throw Shador out there.
I would bet a large sum of money that Shador will start at some point this year.
Oh, for sure.
Like a
100%.
very large sum.
Yeah.
Whether it's from performance, injury, whatever.
Yeah.
I would be dumbfounded if he doesn't. And even Monken today, when he announced that Watson was starting, said that he's going to have to continue to earn the job every week, which typically you announce a starter, you don't really say that.
Yeah, you gotta stand behind him.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that really wasn't that. So
right.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think anybody has high hopes for the Browns this year.
No.
Right? You just traded away the best defensive player in the league.
Mm.
You lost arguably the best defensive coordinator in the league, Jim Schwartz, who wanted to be the head coach and obviously got passed up for it. So when Monken asked him to stay on, he said, "Peace out. I'm out of here."
Nope.
Which I can't really blame him. But like the Browns, that was one thing they could hang their hat on the last few years was their defense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they brought Jared Verse over in the Myles Garrett trade.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is what, a 3-4 win team?
If
right?
that,
right? I mean, it's not like they're gonna. Even though we just listed off the talent, and I do think they have some talent on offense. I don't. I mean,
the thing with it is they're not gonna outscore anybody, and with Jim Schwartz gone, the defense now becomes questionable. So who knows if they're going to be able to contain everybody to like sneak a win here and there. So like this is a disaster season coming in hot for Cleveland. I feel like
I agree.
So yeah, there's just nothing to hang your hat on. If I'm being honest with you,
it's almost like a fan could hang their hat on the potential hope that Shador is
figures it out,
be something, and now like nope, psych, we're going with Deshaun Watson.
Yep, sorry.
So it's just I just don't get it, man.
Yeah.
The Browns can't stay out of their own way.
Yeah.
And
it's unfortunate because Tom Monken, I enjoyed him in Baltimore. I think he did some fascinating things over there with Lamar Jackson and whatnot. I feel like he kind of dropped the ball in his first year. His first real decision here.
Agreed.
Yep.
All right, jumping over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, division champs last year. I kind of forgot that, honestly.
Well, they got blown out like a wild card.
10-7. Like you said, they got blown out by the best defense in the league last year in the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So no more Mike Tomlin for the Steelers, which is the headline in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, obviously they brought in Mike McCarthy. I'm so curious on whether that was specifically to get one more year from Aaron Rodgers, or if they really valued McCarthy and what he brought to the table. I think he's phenomenal. I think he gets a bad rep. Personally, I think that when you compare his numbers to like a Harbaugh or even a McVay who only has one Super Bowl, like their win-losses, their Super Bowls, they're very, very comparable.
Mm-hmm.
So I think McCarthy gets a bad rep, but who knows? I think, and you're hearing already out of training camp how he's doing things so differently than what has been done the last 15, 20 years under Tomlin. So we'll see what that turns into.
Right.
Obviously, bringing in McCarthy got you one more year of Aaron Rodgers. He's already said that this is it.
Yeah.
So this is his retirement tour. So we'll see how that goes. But I like what they did, honestly. They traded for Michael Pittman.
Okay.
They signed Rico Dowdle as their starting running back. So I think that those are really good offensive pieces. Pittman's a stud.
Yeah.
And, they already had DK Metcalf.
DK.
They got Freiermuth at tight end, who I really like, and a big mother. I can't even remember his name. Dude is jacked. Oh, Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington.
He's like a 300-pound tight end. Dude is massive. He just runs over people. So they have him.
Okay.
So they got. I think they could be a sneaky fun team on offense this year, depending on the mobility of Rodgers.
Yeah.
And how all that. I mean, there's no denying what he was able to do. Granted, several years ago with McCarthy.
Yeah.
Can they do it again? Who knows?
Yeah.
That's a big no for you.
Yeah.
That's a big no for you.
Yeah. Like DK and Michael Pittman Jr. are talent. It's a talented duo.
And they have Calvin Austin in the slot.
Calvin Austin
who came on really, really hot last year, towards the end of last year.
Yeah, their wide receiver trio is definitely nothing to sneeze at. I like their wide receivers. Rico Dowdle, I don't know if he can be that bell cow. They still have Jalen Warren there, to
Yeah.
spell him off a little bit. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. I feel like he's living on name alone right now. I don't know if he has that much left in the tank. I don't think I'd be very surprised, to be honest with you, if he survives a 17-game season.
Oh, I think it's a foregone conclusion. He'll miss a game or two.
Yeah,
I for
but,
sure.
And that's worrisome to me. Because I don't know what the Steelers are going to be, because defensively last year they ranked 26th in yards allowed and 17th in points allowed.
They were not good.
Yeah, and somehow they still pulled off a 10-7 record.
Yeah.
How that happened, I have no idea. But to me, I don't know. It's a team that's kind of in limbo for me. I feel like Mike McCarthy is yes, he gets a bad rap, but I feel like he always comes into these situations where like a team comes into limbo. You never know exactly where you're going to get. It happened in Dallas.
Yeah.
It happened for a long time after they won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. It's I don't know. It's so weird to me to think of the Steelers not having the identity that I'm kind of familiar with them.
Yeah.
Under Mike Tomlin, but for me, I don't know. It's the same story as with Minnesota. It just depends what you get at your quarterback, and I just don't know if, just like Kyler Murray, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has that left in the tank. I feel like it's gonna have to be a running team. I don't know if Rodgers' ego is gonna allow it to be a running team. I feel like he feels like he's still that guy, but maybe there's some sort of level of acceptance now that he's said that this is last year, and like I'll do whatever I need to do to like win games or whatever. But I feel like there's going to be something there that's just not going to sit right with me. I don't know what it is, and it's hard to explain. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't know. It's just the whole thing with me. I don't get that.
It's funny. I'm actually somewhat high on them this year.
Really?
I am. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they could. I think they could surprise some people. I really do.
Okay.
But we'll jump over to the other team who lost their 20-year head coach in the Baltimore Ravens. They parted ways with John Harbaugh, who has since gone to the Giants. Ravens were 8-9 last year, missed the playoffs by one kick, one field goal kick to end the game against the Steelers. Ultimately parted ways with Harbaugh, and then hired Jesse Minter.
Yep.
Defensive guy as their head coach. I was a little surprised by that hire, just given who their quarterback is.
Yeah.
Now I will say I keep hearing, Declan Doyle, who their offensive coordinator is. Obviously he came over from Chicago, so he worked with Ben Johnson. So everybody immediately thinks that he's going to be the next Ben Johnson. I don't know much about him other than he learned from him, right? So take that for what it's worth.
Okay.
So a lot of people are very high on them, but they lost Tyler Linderbaum at center.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely followed John Harbaugh to the Giants, so he was a stud tight end. So I don't know. I think a sneaky headline with the Ravens is Lamar Jackson happy? Right? I don't know if you've caught on to that this year, but there's a lot of reports in the offseason that they've offered him an extension, and he has not signed it.
Declined everything.
Yeah. And so people are wondering why that is, if he's unhappy, if he will be elsewhere after this year. There's a lot of those whispers and rumors going around on what that looks like.
Okay.
Now, having said that, he's been at all of the voluntary stuff in the offseason, which typically he does not do. He's one that like shows up at mandatory stuff, but doesn't all the voluntary crap he's not at, but he has been this year.
Okay.
So there's that. Take that for what it's worth.
Right.
So I don't know. The Ravens are an interesting team to me this year.
Yeah, same. I mean, they added Trey Hendrickson.
Yep.
That was the whole thing after the Max Crosby debacle. So, I mean, defensively, they've been trying to add pieces there. Lamar Jackson. The problem with it is they still haven't added really anything to the wide receiver corps.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman.
Not only that, they doubled down on Zay Flowers.
Yeah,
they signed him to a massive deal.
Yeah.
And Bateman just got arrested. I'm not even trying to be funny. He did.
Just got arrested.
He did. Like 2 days ago. 2 or 3 days ago, he got arrested. So who knows what's going to happen there?
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I get it. So like
Personal conduct policy. Just saying.
So they've really done nothing with
Yeah,
their wide
they've really done
receivers.
nothing. They've gone backwards.
Gone backwards. So I mean that could be a main reason why Lamar's not happy there. Like bro, I've been running with Zay Flowers for the past like 5 years, and like
And Mark Andrews is getting old.
Mark Andrews is up there.
Down big time.
Yeah, especially with Isaiah likely not there
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, how much production are we really going to get out of Mark Andrews these days? And Derrick Henry, I mean, like there's a lot of tread on on those tires.
Yeah.
Like he's still a beast, but you know, at some point you'd think Father Time is going to catch up to Derrick Henry. When that happens, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the way they've used them in Tennessee and in Baltimore, it's phenomenal that he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Baltimore is. I agree with you. It's an interesting team. It's a team I'm not really sure what they're going to look like. I feel like at times they're going to look very dysfunctional, simply because you got one receiver. You got Zay Flowers, and that's it. And I'm not sold entirely on their defense by just adding Trey Hendrickson, to be honest with you. I mean, they rank 24th in yards allowed and 18th in points allowed. I'm not completely sold that that's going to be your answer all in Trey Hendrickson. So it's an interesting situation that Jesse Minter finds himself in.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he makes it work. Kudos to him. But I just, like I'm looking at these teams like the Steelers and Baltimore Ravens, and I'm just not used to seeing them this way. I think that's throwing me for a loop as well. But I don't know. I just don't like what Baltimore's at right now.
So one narrative I keep hearing that I think is personally so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Let me back up. I think people are unjustifiably high on the Ravens. Personally. Like, I feel like people have expectations for the Ravens and think they're going to be the same old Ravens. You have a new head coach. You have a new offensive coordinator. And the thing I keep hearing, which I think is so asinine, is that both times Lamar Jackson has had a new offensive coordinator, he's won MVP. I think that's ridiculous. to sit here and say, oh, he's got to learn another new system. That means he's going to win MVP.
Yeah.
That's an idiotic take, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a little out there.
So I think people, I just don't understand why people, because for the most part, I've heard nothing but positive expectations geared towards the Ravens this year, and I don't necessarily know where or why that's coming that way.
Yeah.
Because to your point, Baltimore their defense was terrible last year.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar looked like a shell of himself. Granted, he was injured for a good chunk of the year.
I mean, we saw him live.
Yeah,
back when
against the Jets.
Yeah,
he was awful.
Yeah, he was missing wide open throws.
Awful.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was bad.
So I think that people have expectations for them this year, and I'm not really sure where or why where that's coming from.
Yeah.
So who knows? What do I know? What do we know?
What do we know?
But we'll see. All right. Last but not least, the Cincinnati Bengals. Very interesting team to me this year. You talk about
all these teams.
You talk about pressure. I think this is a make or break year for Zach Taylor.
Oh, 100%.
I really do. And honestly,
even if Joe Burrow gets hurt.
Honestly, Joe Burrow too.
Yeah.
This is the last year I'm going to be all in on Burrow. Because you guys, if you watch our show last year, I picked him to win MVP.
Yeah.
I picked him to be, I believe, the number 1 seed in the East, or in the AFC.
Right.
And obviously he went down in second week with a freaking massive case of turf toe, apparently. So I don't know. I think this is a massive year for them, for both of them. I will say they finally seem to be trying to do it correctly with adding defensive pieces.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen are some dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So adding both of those guys just alone, I mean, they added some other guys too, but I just wrote down them because those guys are studs.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian Cook, safety, Boye Mafe, edge to replace Trey Hendrick. They definitely spent.
Yeah.
They definitely spent on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up, what was it? The at least top 15, maybe a top 10 pick for Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
So that's really got to work out, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, obviously the main concern now, like you invested all this on defense. Kudos to you. You're doing it right. What about your offensive line? is it gonna keep Joe Burrow upright?
That's the case every
single year. It feels like, and it's the obvious thing that happens every single year, and yet somehow they keep they keep denying that's the or keep looking the other way or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy because I was looking at their additions and I was like, where are their offensive linemen? Like I'm not seeing any offensive linemen here. But I mean, obviously, offensively they're still upper echelon with Chase Brown there at running back, Jamar Chase, T Higgins, Drew Sample and Gesicki at tight end, and Burrow, if you know he's healthy, is as good as anybody else in the NFL. I feel like at QB, it's yeah, I agree with you. It's a make or break because at this point, if Burrow gets injured, you're injury prone for the rest of your career.
100%. I was literally just going to say that
Yeah.
would be my next sentence. Is after this year, you now have to classify him as injury prone.
Yeah.
if
If he's not already there.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Zach Taylor, it would be time to move on.
And not only that, Burrow's making a lot of weird comments
Mhm.
about enough is enough.
Mhm.
Manifesting a Super Bowl. He made some weird comments towards the end of last year about maybe not having fun or as much
I
fun.
remember that. Yeah.
So people are really wondering, like, if he wants out of Cincinnati, if he's going to force his way out the same way that Carson Palmer did.
Yeah.
So I think this is a huge year for Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't know if Joe Burrow like mentally can handle another year.
I don't know how
injury.
he could.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how he could,
Like-
especially because it seems like damn near all of his injuries happened at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And so he's out almost. It's
All
not
of
like it's like week 14 or week 15. Like the dude is out
Yeah.
all season. And so it's got to be just so mentally tough.
Yeah, demoralizing, really.
Correct.
And like, yeah,
I mean,
one more injury, and I feel like he might Andrew Luck it.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I know.
To be honest with you, he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm packing it up.
I know.
Like this, it's not meant for me.
Also, Chase Brown, massive year.
Really?
Oh, massive year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jot that down.
Big Chase Brown guy. Big Chase
He
Brown.
was
guy
really
this
good in
year.
the second half of last
He
year.
was his number. Look up his numbers with Burrow last year.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
So I don't know. The Bengals are probably the most interesting team to me in this division.
Positively interesting.
Correct.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Well, on both sides. Like it could be a train wreck too. Like it could be. Like I think their high could be so high.
Mm-hmm.
But they're one Burrow injury
They're-
away from seeing Flacco again. So I don't know. They're very intriguing to me.
Interesting.
All right. Anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. Let's do it. I'll let you go first again. I feel like we're
But-
gonna be drastically different.
Let me start at 4 because
Okay.
that was the easiest one. Cleveland.
Yep.
And then number 3. So as we were talking, like.
Did you change your answer mid-show?
I'm debating still.
Okay.
Because like
So you're filibustering right now.
my
Well,
yeah,
what do you
basically.
decide?
Like wait, flip a coin.
Okay.
But no, I'll stick with what I got.
Okay.
At 3, I have the Steelers.
Okay.
And then number 2, I have Baltimore, and then I got Cincinnati win the division.
Okay.
So literally, the only thing I was debating is the Ravens and Steelers
Yep.
because I feel like the Steelers have more weapons. They have more talent around Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, seeing what Lamar Jackson was last year, I don't know if he's going to be the same, compared to his MVP seasons anymore. I don't know if he has that left in him, but if he does, kudos to him. It's just that he doesn't have that much talent around him anymore. You got an aging Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers there, but I don't know. To me, out of all these teams, the team that has the most going for it is the Bengals. So
Agreed.
that's where I'm going with.
Agreed.
Because I can't predict what's going to go right and what's going to go wrong with any of these teams. I don't like any of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati is the one that has the most intriguing, positive aspect to it.
Yeah, I mean, I got burned big time by Cincinnati last year.
Yeah.
But this will be, like I said, I'm going on record. This will be the last year I do this if it happens again.
Yeah.
Right. So I have Cincinnati 1. I do have the Steelers 2.
Okay.
And then the Ravens 3.
Yeah.
So I think the Steelers could also be a playoff team.
Okay.
A wild card team potential. I haven't solidified that yet.
Yeah.
But in my mind right now, there's no way. Like the Ravens are missing playoffs.
Yeah, like I have the Ravens at 2, but I feel like they might end up at 8 and 9 again.
Yeah.
Is that like how they finished last year and second in their division? Like I don't think it's going to be a superb team. I think it's going to be a 500 team
Yeah.
at best. I don't know.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
we weren't as different as I thought. I
Oh.
thought that AFC North specifically, I was gonna throw you a little bit, but
No, I mean, the teams themselves throw me for loops, but when you like rank them from 1 to 4, thankfully there's only 4 teams there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you got the fourth spot solidified, and first spot solidified, it's just about flipping a coin for the next 2.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, next week we will continue. We will go into your favorite week.
Yeah.
As we go through the NFC and AFC South.
Yep.
One more week, 2 more weeks before week 1.
Mhm.
Obviously, we have a couple more episodes, and we'll break it all down. We'll pick our Super Bowl champs. We'll rank our conferences 1 through 7. Maybe do some end of the year awards, Coach of the Year, MVP, things like that. And obviously, we'll start with week 1, picking games like we do. I'll tell you right now, we're not doing it with the spread. I'll tell you right now, I veto that. We are not doing it. So if you were with us last year, we decided to make things so difficult on us.
You really
And
did.
every week, the games that we picked, if you picked a team as your lock, they had to win by their spread.
By their spread.
Right? So if they were a 3.5 point favorite, they needed to win by 4. And I can't tell you how many times I picked the correct team to win that did not cover the spread.
I'm pretty sure I like won our
Oh my God. You won. You eliminated me by like week 8. Like I had so many games wrong last year. My picks were dreadful.
Yeah.
So I'm vetoing that. We're not doing that again this year. But we will continue to pick games as we always do. Keep it entertaining, keep it fun.
We try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to look at
our. We'll try our best.
Yep, absolutely.
As always, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, interact. Tennessee Titans fans, I'm coming for you.
I feel like it's gonna be your favorite episode next week.
I can't wait. I'm gonna put a calendar reminder in my phone by like week 6 or 7 to see where they're at, specifically Cam Ward. Because all of you TikTok warriors that were just reaming me out last year about my Cam Ward take.
All them Cam Ward burners on TikTok coming after Nick Hoskins.
Yeah. So next week will be fun. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
We want to hear from you. Stir up some conversation or controversy and reach out to us on our social media platforms to add to the weekly conversations.